Well, it's season 3, and Merle got a great deal renting a seaside mansion named Dragon House. I wonder why it was such a good deal.
My name is Dealer Shook, and I am the information collector. Today I'm coming to you from the gardens here at Dragon House. And I would have gone somewhere else, but we have been a little busy helping Kermit the Intern pull together his Kitty Dash app. So without further ado, take a look at this promo video. That's amazing. That is going to help so many little fluffy friends have wonderful experiences. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did. Last Wednesday, Hitachi announced the acquisition of Global Logic of San Jose, California. This is a digital project engineering firm. Their press release pretty much said Global Logic's 21,000 employees will work mostly with Hitachi's Lumada division. Global Logic's... Okay, Kermit, clean the screen again. It's got issues. Global Logic's business model helps partners leverage data and software, and it should fit right in with Lumada's data management business model. The Lumada catalog cites several solutions they've been able to help their clients develop. They use cameras to monitor congestion levels at train stations, and supposedly they maintain the privacy of the people they're taking pictures of. They improve security for your car has 100 microprocessors, 100 computer chips in it, and each of your car systems has software, and those software need upgrades for all sorts of reasons. For starters, so they won't get hacked. Lumada has helped improve security for when they do those software upgrades. Also helped automate them. That's a whole other subject. Its software has helped detect and predict the flu, how the flu is spread, and product recalls. And I want to tell a quick story here about product recalls. They're not impossible to detect. 3M's an amazing company, and one reason they're an amazing company is, anecdotally, years ago, I read a story of how a 3M makes medical equipment, and they test blood. Well, they needed to establish a baseline for the blood in these machines, so the machines know what to do. So they tested the blood, but then they got blood from the VA of Korean War veterans, and they discovered that all of us have Scotchgard in our blood. Now, this is not a concern. They found no ill effects, but that's why they pulled Scotchgard off the market. Scotchgard was an iconic product. The literature that they sent explained how a lab tech had spilled some in her shoe, couldn't get it off, and this problem turned out to be an amazing Scotchgard solution. 3M's an interesting company. Their promo material they sent me in high school described how one of the founders shaved with a sandpaper. They didn't develop that product. But anyway, so product recalls are interesting, and how a company handles them is key to the company's longevity. So Lamada has helped companies study to see what they need to recall. Global Logic is a big company. Not only does it have 21,000 employees, it has 400 clients, 100 labs, and engineering centers in 14 countries. Last Tuesday, the Brazilian Army issued a press release discussing the previous day's review of troops pledged for UN peacekeeping missions. The UN Evaluation and Advisory Visit reviewed the peacekeeping force, infantry battalion, mechanized, and a rapid reaction company, which are part of the Army's 15th Mechanized Infantry Brigade. The press release stated that 800 troops and 114 vehicles had been committed, including the Guarani IFV infantry fighting vehicle. It's kind of similar to the American LAV-4 that the Marines use, and a vehicle called the Lynx Tactical Transport. Lynx is like Lynx, the cute little fuzzy cat that you don't want to meet in a dark alley. The Lynx is kind of, it's like the MRAP. In fact, a couple of them have taken hits from IEDs, and the people inside have lived. Now, the next picture I'm going to show you is from the Brazilian Army, and on one side you'll see the armored vehicle. The smaller vehicles are the Lynxes, and the larger vehicles are the Guaranis. The next day, the Brazilian Army announced Operation Somalia, an effort by Northern Joint Command to combat environmental crimes. It will use, for one of the first times, unmanned aerial vehicles to augment satellite surveillance to locate potential problem areas. The past 2 weeks have seen a crackdown on environmental violations on indigenous land, especially illegal deforestation. These actions took place in Altamira, Hitachi, Jacareacanga, Novo Progresso, São Felix do Ringo, and Trial municipalities. Last Sunday, the nation of Djibouti announced it would sell stakes of the national Telecom to private investors. For 2 decades, Djibouti Telecom has upgraded the nation's infrastructure to the level of modern communications, including 4G networks and 12 submarine data cables, which is significant because Djibouti is right up there at the mouth of the Red Sea. So you got Saudi Arabia over here, Africa over here, and Djibouti's right there just between Somalia and Eritrea. Djibouti's a significant place. One, since Eritrean independence, it's been the biggest Ethiopia's seaport. I believe it's home to some gorgeous flamingos, and it's getting a lot of attention. According to smallwarsjournal.com, Djibouti is home to a disturbingly large amount of foreign bases. The U.S. has Camp Lemonnier there. The French, British, and Italian have bases. Japan has their only overseas base in Djibouti. And the article stated that it's in response to a Chinese base in Djibouti. In December, I mentioned that Operation Octave Quartz occurred, where we withdrew troops from Somalia. And I believe, although I was not able to find it, I was not able to find references to it. I believe hearing that the F-16s from Germany and Italy were based out of Djibouti. I found references to the F-16s, but I could not find them stating they were in Djibouti. But nonetheless, Djibouti, it's a place to watch. And look at their national telecom. Obviously, there's a lot of foreigners making phone calls there. Last Friday, BP announced the delivery of its first load of liquid natural gas, with the carbon emissions to be offset by trees planted in Mexico. Now, what happened was BP knew it was going to be producing the natural gas, so it went ahead and bought the carbon credits. They calculated the carbon dioxide and the methane emissions from when they took it out of the ground to when they delivered it. And then they bought, these people planted trees that were supposed to pull this much carbon dioxide out of the air, so BP bought that amount of carbon to offset this amount of carbon. The cargo was delivered to Mexico's Energía Coastal Azul terminal Friday, where gas liquefaction plants are being built by Sempra LNG and Innova Energy. On Friday, U.S. Africa Command issued a press release announcing the end of a 3-day VIP visit to Mauritania. Well, Mauritania is out on literally the other end of Africa from Djibouti. It's on the coast of upper West Africa. Where Africa comes up, there's Mauritania. One of my first geopolitical simulations I did, maybe even in middle school, involved Mauritania. United States Air Force Lieutenant General Kirk Smith met with the Mauritanian president and defense leaders of Mauritania. Now, this visit highlights the G5 Sahel regional organization that is centered in Mauritania and is working to increase regional security. The Sahel is a region that stretches just below the Sahara Desert, and it kind of winds from the Atlantic on this side kind of over to Ethiopia. The trip included visits to defense training sites, and it is one of those things that helps cement U.S. ties into the region. Now, late last Saturday, I picked up a report that Chinese and Mauritanian construction workers were actually kidnapped in neighboring Mali, and their construction site burned, which is really interesting because the list of what was burned included their heavy equipment and even fuel, which is very odd because it just seems like somebody would want that stuff. But anyway, so this shows the significance of and the reason for our visit to Mauritania.